So welcome to our first ever challenge grant video. My name is Pastor Tasha Gank Morton from Holy Trinity Lutheran Church, and it is my pleasure to welcome members from Holy Trinity Lutheran Church and from Crispus Attucks and Community Action Partnership, also known as CAP. We're going to do some quick introductions, and then we're going to hear a little bit more about both the challenge grant and our recipient this year.
Morning, I'm Steve Ratcliffe. I have the great honor of serving as the chair of the selection committee for the challenge grant. I've been involved in this for a number of years, and it is always a real pleasure and a real inspirational experience to have a chance to meet amazing people in Lancaster and the good works they're doing, and this year to present to you the awardee of the challenge grant for 2020.
My name is Joshua Hunter. I'm the director at Crispus Attucks Community Center, and we are very happy and honored to be a part of this process.
Hello, my name is Vincent Derek Smith, and I'm the assistant director at Crispus Attucks Community Center, and we are, as Josh said, happy, honored, and excited to take on this new adventure and empowering our youth in a different way.
Hey everyone, Ellyse Pollak here from Community Action Partnership of Lancaster. I am really excited to be here with everybody today.
Hi, my name is Brittany Mitchell. I'm the development manager at Community Action Partnership. And yeah, I'm just so happy to be here and so grateful to the congregation for supporting this project.
Thank you, everyone. We are so excited about this. The first thing we want to talk about is the challenge grant. So Steve, can you tell us a bit about the challenge grant?
Well, the challenge grant is a great tradition of Trinity of looking at organizations within the area, usually within Lancaster City, but sometimes in a broader swath, that are doing good things. And the challenge grant is $5,000, usually to look at a new initiative where this funding will play a very important role, which you're going to hear about very soon. And all I can say is I hope that in the future you would consider either playing some role with reviewing the applications or sitting on the selection committee, because the time that we spent was one very well spent. I think we met amazing people, seeing what people are doing in the community, and we're just encouraging you to consider playing a role in the future.
So one of the things that happens is we have this massive list of local nonprofits in the community, and in the fall we send out a letter asking for grant proposals from everyone, and usually we get back anywhere from 5 to 12. And Crispus Attucks and Community Action Partnership, can you tell us about when you received the invitation to submit a grant proposal? Tell us about your process for coming up with your proposal.
All right. So we were super excited to just receive the invitation for the grant. I talked it over with Ellyse first. We were going back and forth. I looped in Derek. Me and Derek sat down. We just talked about what were some opportunities that we wanted to see come to fruition for the center. COVID has been a very challenging time for everyone, but we just knew we needed to support the community in some way. And that's when we came up with the project. Result, we came up with Lancaster Street Clean Street Youth Employment Program, which is designed to blend together several areas of community development, including youth employment, environmental health, and civil engagement. With this program, we want to provide opportunities for 5 young people between the ages of 14 and 18 with the necessary work permits and things like that. And the opportunity will be available after school, on weekends, and will give the youth an opportunity to engage in meaningful employment while cleaning up neighborhoods in the neighborhood surrounding Crispus Attucks Community Center. We've looked at some statistics, and we found that in all of Lancaster City, 36% of young people under the age of 18 are living in poverty. And according to the Lancaster Coalition to Combat Poverty, the Southeast Quadrant is home to the highest concentration of poverty in Lancaster City. So with that being said, we do want to make sure that we are offering some type of incentive for coming out and actually wanting to be a part of this program. So as a result of that, we thought a small stipend of $10 per hour for their time. And we'll work in about 3-hour shifts, about 2 times a week for about 12 weeks.
So tell me how you at Crispus Attucks and Community Action Partnership, how you work together as a team to put together the grant proposal and get it to us.
COVID has been definitely a challenging time, as I stated. I think a lot of it has been via Zoom, via email. We've gotten together, just me and Derek, because we are actually in the physical space, and then the rest of it has been via Zoom. But we just, during this time, it has afforded us to be able to plan and reimagine how we serve our youth. We've been hearing from the youth in the community that something they long for is a way to earn money, to ease some financial hardships for their families. A lot of it is simply just providing maybe some school clothing. That's just a way to ease some of the stress of their financial burdens off their parents. So with the pandemic, we just had to get creative and staying connected with the community. But we also want to make sure that we're upholding our mission and striving to improve the quality of life for the youth of the families in Lancaster. So we understand the importance of routine, mentorship, and a positive out-of-school experience. So we just kind of brainstormed through just a few ideas that we had eventually leading to this one, but we also wanted to make sure that we included some key program areas, such as money management skills, and also how to gain some employment experience through this whole process.
One of the things that we really liked in our interview process with you is walk me through the application process for youth when they apply, and that teaching more skills even on top of cleaning up the streets.
It's very important for us to expose them to what an actual interview looks like, and what the actual just application, just in general, how to properly fill it out, walk them through, hey, like, this is what we noticed on your application. This is how we can improve this. So it's basically walking alongside of them through the entire process, from how to dress in an interview, how to, speak properly in an interview, and then also let them know the following steps. We do want to do a 2-phase interview process. So the first part is, that whole walking alongside of them. The second part is, kind of giving them some feedback, some comments, and then offering them the actual position.
We ask you all about how are you going to work this into your work week and your schedule. And I think it was Derek who said, I don't look at this as work. And I'd love for you just to kind of communicate the excitement you have about carrying on this project.
I believe that, when we had the interview, we explained that we are committed to providing quality programs for youth in our community, and that when we do programs or we do activities at Crispus Attucks Community Center, it's not a job to us. It's more of a service. And we look at it as connecting. We are a people person organization. We like to deal with people and provide services that will uplift them, motivate them, and provide a positive experience. So we don't take this as a challenge. We take this as just something that is going to impact our community in a positive way. It's not going to be an obstacle to us because we love what we do. It's in our hearts. And I think that's what plays a big difference in what we do at Crispus Attucks is we kind of don't just do stuff to do stuff. We do stuff with purpose, and we do stuff that means something to us individually, personally. So the outcome is better because it's not just being done because we have to, but because we really want to.
So people know what happens is we receive the applications, and we, and you might be learning this for the first time too, who are on the team. We receive the applications and we send them out to a team of readers, and we have the readers rank them in order from the ones that they liked the best to the ones that they didn't like as well as the others. And it's, kind of all over the place, and everyone brings their own experiences. And once we get all the rankings back from our readers, we narrow it down to our top 3 finalists. And these finalists are the ones that we interview. So we interviewed 3 different community organizations this year. And Steve, since you were a part of the team that conducted the interviews, what were some of the things about Crispus Attucks's proposal that really made you say, this is the one that we want to support this year?
Well, first off, all 3 grant applications were very strong. And we like the people, we like the purpose of the grant applications. And so your competition was superb. But then we finished with you all, and I really think Derek, it's what you just communicated to us about the joy that you have in doing these types of projects and what you bring into this. And I think it was infectious, and you really bowled us over with that sense. So I think it is your interest in these young people and making a difference in their life. You all just spontaneously talked about things that might happen in terms of innovation. So we know the basic construct of this, but we're really looking forward to seeing what you do with it. And we'd like to stay involved as your, if you will, as your partner with this.
Crispus Attucks and Cap Friends, what was your reaction upon hearing that you had received the grant?
Super excitement. I think for me, like the most exciting thing is just thinking about the impact it will have on the kids, the excitement of having, I think we've talked a few times about how COVID has been really challenging. And so some of those bright spots, they've just been so important, and thinking about, the opportunity to create new programming that's going to have such a great impact on the kids in the neighborhood is something that, was really exciting and something really welcome.
And to know the support is coming from a neighbor within the community is really pretty amazing. And to be able to have that partnership and continue to see it grow. And Steve, like you were talking about with the innovation of the program, further down the line, to know that there is space for it to start wherever it's going to start, and then has the space to grow even more, to maybe impact more kids or spread into the community a little bit further. It's really exciting.
I know I couldn't wait to text the team and let them know that we received the grant. I just feel like when others believe in your vision, it's truly heartwarming to know that you have people in the community who actually support what you do and want to, be a part of it and see it through.
We heard the grant, I think, especially like they said at the time of COVID, and I think we heard the news on Food Bank Day, which is just like Food Bank Day. It gave us hope that, there's a change of direction on what we're doing at the center, and that we could create more positive impact. As we explained before, we do what we love, so that, this gives us more opportunity to interact and create more leaders in our community, and create also a positive image for Southeast, because I think, like, as I said before, that Southeast seems to get the negative end of the stick, even though we as a community stick together and we as a community come up with innovative ideas and ways to reach the youth. So this just puts the icing on the cake that we're still creating opportunities for our youth to be engaged.
Can you walk us through next steps and timelines and some ultimate hopes and goals for how this is going to impact the youth and the neighborhood and Crispus Attucks and CAP long term?
As we explained before, this is kind of like a model of the Downtown Investment District, where when it originally started was James Street Improvement District, which just focused on the James Street area. But it seemed like it grew to Downtown Investment District, then it grew to Soway, but Southeast was left out. And when over the years there was this kind of like discussion about why Southeast was left out and how to implement the program into Southeast and what does it look like. But people were in the Southeast kind of look at the Downtown Investment District as like the snitching, that are they really there to improve the image of the city? So when we're targeting youth from the neighborhood, it creates a sense of connection. It creates a sense of, I know them and I can interact with them. And it's more than, then it becomes more than them picking up trash. Maybe if somebody say, hey, do you know what Day Food Bank is? Or you know what kind of programs are happening at Crispus Attucks, the Mix or the Boys Club? So they can relate information people to people. Sometimes Facebook don't reach certain demographics of when we're promoting events or services. So these youth can serve as walk-in brochures too, providing information to the community, that services that are provided at Crispus Attucks that also can improve families as a whole. So it's a twofold program. You know, we can use this multiple ways to engage our community and improve the relationship Crispus Attucks has with the community and CAP.
I wanted to echo what Derek said. I think that long term, the project, what's really exciting is that it is a new project with a lot of potential. Innovation is one of our core values. And so it's just so exciting to come up with, you know, something that's responsive to the community, that's filling a need, and then, you know, seeing where it could go, what partnerships you know, might develop out of this work, and what even just, you know, being out in the community and maybe hearing about new needs that, you know, we can fill for folks that live in the neighborhood. So I think there's just so much potential for this for both the kids and just for Crispus Attucks as an organization. So it's really exciting.
Just to kind of tack on even further, I think one of the coolest things, and I think we talked about it in our initial interview, was that it could also be a space for not only, you know, trash cleanup and that kind of stuff around the community. That will obviously be kind of a cornerstone, really important part of it. But then it can kind of expand into community beautification, whether that's, you know, at a park or something along those lines. But then the kids too can actually kind of poll neighbors and poll community members to see, hey, like this program is not only for us, it's for you all as well as our neighbors in the community. What is it that you would like to see too? So it's you know, it's benefiting the kids obviously from, you know, employment and mentorship and all of that kind of stuff. But it really is kind of then, it has the capacity and the potential then to bring in the entire community, to connect the community even further.
To echo off of that, you know, Southeast is, you know, a family-oriented community, so you just can't go into someone's family and tell them what they need. So being very intentional and listening and, you know, hearing what they have to say, and coming back and, you know, integrating their ideas into what we do is very important.
Crispus Attucks and CAP, other than the grant, what are some ways that we as Holy Trinity, as invested partners and neighbors, can continue supporting you and this project?
And also being an advocate to other faith-based organizations, speaking on behalf of the outcome of the grant or the experience that you had with Crispus Attucks and CAP during the grant process, so that their congregation can support their program long-term.
I think just kind of adding to that, Derek, I think one of the things that's so important, and I think that you touched on this too as well, is, you know, visibility within the Southeast community. So to just continue, you know, kind of word of mouth through, and I think Steve, you may have brought this up in, you know, in our prior interview, but you know, that there may be other faith communities who might be interested in the work that is happening, who are also in the Southeast community. So maybe just kind of keeping this forefront of mind, spreading word of mouth, sharing maybe some of the progress that is happening, just to kind of keep it being talked about and visible within the community. Just, you know, continuing to letting people know that it's happening.
We would like to stay involved to hear what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's whatever Pastor Tasha comes up, whether it's monthly or bi-monthly, but just some updates about how things are going. And once the COVID pandemic is not as oppressive as it currently is, and people can begin to come together, we have weekly forums where we love to have grant recipients come and tell us about what happened. And that's a good way to take the good vibes here, but really take it to the next level. So we hope that there are ways that we can stay involved, both in terms of hearing what's happening, and when you hear about your innovations, we may be able to suggest, other groups that might want to help contribute or carry this forward. So I hope that you don't look at this as, well, it was nice to know you and so long, as opposed to an ongoing partnership.
This year, I mean, COVID 2020, but it's given us some new opportunities to be connected in new ways, and everyone's using social media more. And I think there is this longing to be connected and to hear good news in the community. So I think there's this new kind of synergy to, as you're going through this process, let us know what you're doing, let us know that you're interviewing so we can post that, share it on CAP's website so we can share it on our website to really make sure there's that kind of synergy in lifting both CAP and Crispus Attucks and Holy Trinity, all of us lifting each other up in new and exciting ways and being connected on a deeper level, perhaps not in a way that we haven't for one of these grants before, to come back in 6 months, not just with, a forum, but maybe we do another video, and maybe, there are deeper ways to be connected. So, 2020 has been 2020, but I think this is your project specifically has given us a new way to be invested in the community, and we want to take every advantage of that.
I think you touched on something really important there, Pastor Tasha, is the amplification of good work that's happening, especially in a time that has been so stressful and so, somewhat overly negative. To be able to find those positive pockets of light is really important to be able to share with the community at large. As we continue on through the pandemic and we're, relatively separate, but still trying to connect with one another, we can do that through, updates or videos or something along those lines. But, as those updates or videos are being shared, maybe that's kind of, planting a seed for somebody to maybe want to get involved down the road when we're able to, when things open back up, maybe as a mentor for the program or something along those lines, or just kind of reminding somebody in the congregation, a little bit of prayer can go a long way sometimes, just to kind of keep those ways of connecting that might resonate differently with other people, giving them the option to connect and support in a way that makes the most sense to them.
I think if we just touch probably on the timeline, just a little bit more specific, so that way people can understand, like, this is not a tomorrow thing.
Wait, it's not?
So we're going to encourage all interested youth to apply. We're going to have the application posted on all of our social medias. The interviews will be via Zoom. We'll be able to adjust if people aren't able to necessarily do Zoom meetings. But there will be an application. They'll have to submit it. We will have a 2-phase interview process. I'm pretty sure there's going to be probably about three members that will be part of this application process. And we would love to invite a member from Trinity Lutheran to sit in on the application process. If these guys are available, I think that'd be an awesome way to kind of continue that connection and also be that resource for us as well. But the hiring process will take place early February 2021. And then with employment to begin in March 2021, we kind of want to let the harsher weather kind of get behind us and then transition into spring and then really take off from there.
I want to say that, this has been so wonderful. I think especially during this year, the times that we've all kind of gone through to, have this opportunity that's so around innovation, responding to the needs that are present in our community right now, around partnerships, around feeling that sense of community between people and organizations, especially when we kind of are all in our homes and not really getting together in person as much. And just that those bright spots of, new programming and hope and things for the future. Just all of those have been so welcome and such a great opportunity for us. So we're so grateful, and we want to say thank you again to Holy Trinity.
Thank you, Crispus Attucks, CAP, for your investment in the community. And thank you to the members of the Challenge Grant Task Force who made all this happen. And thank you to members of Holy Trinity who fund this grant. It is such an honor to be a part of this process and to build new partnerships and new programs. So thank you for joining us all.